Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, guys. You might be wondering, what's going on, Jojo man? Why are you sat at a desk? Why are you a floating head with a pair of arms all of a sudden? And why do you have the camera pointing at you and you've got a massive mess behind there? And that's because, guys, I'm at my computer right now. Because I thought to myself, do you know what I want to do? I want to show you guys my top 5 favourite Games Workshop miniatures. And I did a video like this a couple of years ago, in fact more than a couple of years ago, it's more like 5 years ago, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it again, because after all, in that stretch of time, our opinions, our tastes and our views change. So, without further ado, this is my top 5 favourite Games Workshop miniatures, or whatever I decide to make the title of the video, whatever, fuck it, you know. But yeah, so sit back, strap yourself in, and yeah, this is my top 5 favourite Games Workshop miniatures. Okay guys, so first and foremost we are going to take a look at my number 5 spot on this list. Now if I would have to put a model at number 5 personally, it would have to probably be, after much consideration from what I've seen now, from what's come out recently, it would probably have to be the robot that came out in the Blackstone Fortress box set a while ago. It's the, what's his name? It is the UR025, and there's a reason why I like this model. I mean, it's a pretty nice model to begin with, but the thing that attracted me to this one is the lore behind it, because after all, he is one of the last few remaining survivors of the Men of Iron. Now, there's very, very little lore involving the Men of Iron in GW. However, they played a massive, massive role in the far history of the 41st millennium. You know, we're talking way before 40k, way before 30k. We're talking during, I think it was the dark age of technology. These guys were out, and these guys basically rebelled against the entire human race. That's it basically in a nutshell, but I love the fact that GW have finally put a miniature to this. It makes me really excited because it's so great, because there's many possibilities of what could happen in the future for this miniature. They could get an entire miniature range. We could see more Men of Iron coming into the 41st millennium. We could see more standalone games. I would love to see a standalone game in regards to the Men of Iron. That would be great, you know. Make it a skirmish game. Make it like during the dark age of technology. It'd be so cool. Well, this model, let's talk about the model actually now. I just love it because it's so bulky and it's really large. He's a huge miniature. He's bigger than a Primaris Marine. Primaris Marine, however you want to say it. I don't like Primaris Marines. I might do a top 5 most hated miniatures and just have it all full of Primaris Marines. But anyway, that's a video for another day. I love the fact that he's just so big and stocky and got some crazy Dark Age weapon. He's got this crazy like Gatling laser cannon, which just looks ace. And the fact that he's looks kind of like a Mechanicum robot, but a little bit different. I really like it. So anyway, that is my number 5 spots on this on this top 5 video. Number 4, going on to, it's gonna have to be something a little bit different. You guys may not think that I would choose something like this, but the number 4 is going to be the Dark Emissary from the Dark Shadows campaign from many, 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 many years ago. We're talking back when GW had metal blister packs. It's a proper nice bit of nostalgia. Now, I love this guy for a couple of reasons. Again, the lore behind him was really cool. He was from the Dark Shadows campaign, which took place on the Isle of Albion, which was way back before Age of Sigmar. You all know my opinions on Age of Sigmar. Not the biggest fan. This is during the Old World, and the Dark Emissary, he had all these powers where he could like summon like crazy swamp creatures, and he was a very evil character. Now, I love the characterization of this model on the actual, well, from what Games Workshop have done. They have made a truly evil-looking miniature. Every time I look at this guy, I think to myself, God, he just looks spiteful and nasty and up to no good and just really resentful. You've got these crazy horns that he's got coming out of his head. You've got this really awesome cowl, and that's what I think makes his miniature look so interesting and so detailed, because you can't actually see his face. No one knows what his face looks like underneath there. He's just got this big long cowl going down over his face, his evil eyes poking through. He's got all kinds of scrolls and stuff attached to him. He's holding this crazy parchment and this crazy wooden spear with all these teeth coming out of it. He just looks a really, really, really menacing wizard slash spellcaster. It looks really cool. I love it to pieces. I actually am lucky enough to have one of these in my collection. I'm probably going to paint it up sometime. At the moment, it's just bare metal. But I actually managed to pick this guy up off a Facebook page. It was a complete steal. I got him for £4. This guy goes for incredible amounts online. So, that is just what I like about it. I just love the overall feel of him. I like all this raggediness and the way he's got all like the bandages draped over his arms and stuff. He just looks absolutely fantastic. But that's just a little snippet there of my number 4 spot on there. And we're going to be moving on to number 3. And number 3 is going to be a kit that I absolutely adore. I've built many of these kits, and it is, guys, the Imperial Knight kit. I bloody love them. It's just, I've never known such a nice kit to exist. It goes together really well. It's an absolute dream to paint, and it is so versatile. You can make anything you want out of an Imperial Knight. You could do a Chaos Knight, you could do an Orc Imperial Knight, you can do, if you wanted to, you could do a Tau Imperial Knight, even though they've got their own equivalents, but you could make them into anything. You could do every flavour of Chaos imaginable. You could really go to town with the conversions and stuff. And because of the whole rise of 3D printing, you're able to 3D print all these awesome accessories for them. It's really cool. I myself own about 10 of these, and like I say, I just love building and painting them. And I think the reason why I love them so much in the painting aspect of it is because they're so easy to paint. You've literally, once you take all the carapace off it, you're literally down to a bare metal skeleton, and you can literally spray that whole thing silver, give it a wash, pick out some details, wash it back again, bit of dry brush in the end, the skeleton's done. And then doing all the carapace and all the armour plating on it is dead easy as well, especially if you want to do like a candy core like I've done with my Imperial Knights. It just makes it really easy to just paint and get a really quick and effective paint scheme. And I love quick and effective paint schemes. I love getting them on the table fast, looking great. And it's just an awesome kit, and the lore behind them as well, guys. A lot of them. The reason why I have a lot of favourites of different models, it's mainly because of obviously the joy of building and painting them, but also the lore behind them. The lore behind the Knights is so cool, and it's really rich. It's all like noble houses, and the fact that the Knights weren't originally made for combat, which is really cool. The Imperial Knights were made for construction. When the colonists in the dark age of technology dropped down onto a planet, these things were used to construct the hab buildings and do all the terraforming and earth moving, all this kind of stuff. And then it was a case of the STCs generated weapons for them when they got in danger that they could be like bolted on and quickly interchanged from, like, you might have an agricultural knight and then you can go, right, quickly lose the tractor parts, let's put some fucking guns on it and blast the shit out of some orcs. Really cool. Just such a nice model to do, and like so full of flavour, loads of character. So that's number 3. Number 2. We're going to move on to number 2 now. We're getting close to the end, guys. It's going to be a relatively quick video. I don't know how long it's gone on for. My camera HUD has gone off for some reason, but we're going to see. We're going to see how long it goes. Number 2 has got to be one of the most iconic things in Warhammer 40k, and it is just, I mean, it's the epitome of what Warhammer 40k is to me, and it's got to be the Dreadnought. We're not talking the Primaris Dreadnought. That thing can fuck right off. That can go and sit in the corner and go and cry, because it's a nice kit, I'll give it that, but it just doesn't look like it belongs in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, I don't feel. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the old, original, boxy Dreadnought. The ones that look like if they fell over, they would be fucked. They couldn't get up. And I love them because there's so many variants to them. They're just really interesting to you. Again, you can just make them your own. There's tons. They're a fantastic base for all manner of conversions, like the Imperial Knight, just smaller. You can do loads with them, and they're a really good unit in game. They're a good versatile unit. You can make them shooty, you can make them close combat, you can make them a mix. You can even make them psychers if you have. I think it's the Blood Angels one. I think even the Grey Knight Dreadnought is a psyker as well. I'm not too sure on that. Clarify me in the comments, in the doobly-doo down below, guys, if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, so number 2, there's not really much to say about the Dreadnought apart from how goddamn awesome they are and how many variants there is. I've built probably hundreds of Dreadnoughts. Yeah, I go as far as to say I put a limit out on there and go, so I probably built hundreds of Dreadnoughts in my time. And they are just a joy to build. I could probably build one in my sleep with my eyes closed, although I would generally have my eyes closed if I was sleeping. It would be a bit weird to sleep with your eyes open, do you not think? But yeah, guys, the Dreadnought kit is just a great one. That is why it gets my number 2 spot on this list. However, we're going to move on to number 1 now. Now, number 1 is a little bit controversial. In fact, it's quite controversial because a lot of people hate this miniature. In fact, everybody hates this miniature that I've talked to about it. However, I also hate this miniature so much that I love it. It's a love-hate thing, a hate-love relationship, and that has got to be the Nagash model. Not the new one again, not the new lovely 3D sculpted one. No. I'm talking about the clown, the undead clown of Nagash. It's so bad. It reaches such a level of shitness that it becomes notoriously good. And I think it's such a throwback to the age and the times that this miniature came out. And you just gotta love it. You gotta see through all the hate and you just gotta love it. Down to his freaking dress that he's wearing with the stupid high shoulder pads and the staff that's ridiculously tall. It's like way taller than him. His crazy headdress, and the fact he's just got like a massive skull for a face, and like just everything is just out of proportion. Like his hands are like as big as his head, his arms are too long, his torso is tiny. He has a tiny little baby torso, and it just looks so dumb. I mean, you can see on the picture that I've got here, guys. It just is terrible. It's a terrible model, but that's why I love it. But I love it for a few other reasons as well. It's chocked full of detail. And this is a day and age when GW sculpts were hand sculpted before they had the soulless 3D sculpting that they do now on a computer. Put it into a machine and it prints it and then they go and cast it. This was hand sculpted. Some poor bastard had to sculpt this abomination. And do you know what? If you're watching this, you're probably not, but I salute you, you poor motherfucker. But the detail on it is lovely. If we see past the awfulness of it, it's got a surprising amount of detail. Like all the skulls, all of the staff, they're bloody beautifully done. You know, someone's put time into doing that. You know, all the chains, even his face. Granted, it is a horrible green clown-like skull visage. It's still got a lot of detail. It's got a lot of soul. It's got tons of character, even though it is utterly shite. But I love it. It's been the basis. I mean, I've never seen anyone use it as Nagash in game, even way back when I was young, doing like dabbling in a bit of Warhammer Fantasy. I've never seen anyone use it. The only time I've ever seen someone use the miniature in a game is they used it as a Chaos Sorcerer for Inquisitor, 54mm. So there's 54mm scale games, so it's the bigger scale, and yeah, it just fits somehow. It's perfect size for Inquisitor, and it's just so silly. It's just, and the guy that actually had it, my good friend Tanj, he actually painted up to look like a clown. It was like the evil clown of death or something. It was fucking fantastic. But yeah, guys, so that is my top 5 favourite Warhammer Games Workshop miniatures. I hope you enjoyed this list. Leave a comment in the doobly-doo down below. Do you agree with this list? What do you think of my list? What's your favourite Games Workshop miniature that they've ever made? Like I say, everyone's tastes change, everyone's opinions and views change, so leave a comment in the doobly-doo down below. Whilst you're down there, don't forget to check out the Instagram and the Facebook. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off for now, so thank you very much for watching. See you now, and goodbye.